welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Victoria Imade. Y'all, if y'all are new, welcome, and if you guys are returning, welcome. A lot of y'all don't know, but I am in the Air Force Reserve, to be exact. It's something that I don't really talk about because it's like whatever, like, you know, but this is a lifestyle channel, and honestly, like, me being a part of the Air Force, me being in the Air Force is a part of my life. So I figured, like, why not like talk to you guys about my life in the Air Force, if that makes sense. I've currently been in for 2 years. I'm actually not going to talk about that too much. If you guys have questions, that will be another video, a little Q&A. But yes, I've been in for 2 years, and honestly, it's been quite interesting, y'all. It's been quite interesting. So this video is basically going to be 6 things I knew before I joined the Air Force. Y'all, like, let me tell you something. If you don't do your research, you're going to be shit out of luck. Like, it's one of those things you have to know what you're signing up for. You can't just put your name on a dotted line and just be like, well, like, you know, so you actually have to do your research and see what you're signing up for, what you're joining, like what you're putting your name on. Let's get into it. Let's start with number 1. It's one of those careers, I guess, that you have to take charge from the beginning, literally from the beginning. So as far as like benefits, as far as knowing what you're signing up for, you have to take charge from the time you go to the recruiter's office to the time you enlist and all of that good stuff. When I joined, I had a semester left in college, right? I really should have went the officer route. The reason why I didn't is because I didn't really fight for it. My recruiter at the time, honestly, asshole, and I really don't care. He was a jerk, like, you know, very much a jerk. So I didn't like the fact that he really shut down everything that I tried to get. And, you know, throughout my time in the Air Force, like, me just speaking to other people, they're like, you should have fought for it. You should have kept going until you got what you wanted before signing. And I was like, damn, like, you know, I really should have. But, you know, what's done is done. Like, you know, there's nothing I can do except, like, you know, pass that knowledge to the next person who tries to join. Education benefits, like, I did not know they do loan, forgiveness, right? And not everyone is eligible for it, but that's something that, like, if you really, really want, like, that's the thing that is your deciding factor for joining the Air Force or joining whatever branch, then you should get that. You should not sign the paper until you get what you want. For me, I told y'all I should have won the officer route. I should have, like, you know, I mean, enlisted is cool. I haven't really just done much. But as far as what I wanted initially, I wanted to be an officer. Like, you know, I should have went that route. Doing research on the job you want. Look, let me tell you something. So I already knew from the beginning, I don't like medical. I don't want to be a nurse. I don't want to be a doctor. I don't want to be a PA. I don't want to work in the hospital. That is not my cup of tea. As I already knew, I didn't want to work in the hospital. So anyways, he gave me a job, medical technician, right? It's a 4N. And I should have read what it is before signing it. Anyways, you're basically like a play nurse. And I say play nurse because you're not a nurse in the real world, but damn near you're a nurse in the Air Force. Like, you're doing all the nursing duties in a way. You actually do more than the nurses in the Air Force. So you're play nurse. I got that. When I tell y'all, first of all, I'm gonna answer that in another video, how I cross-trained and switched my job. But cross-training is basically you getting trained for a new job, new AFSC. So I had to leave where I was at before. I did not like it. Like, it was depressing. If I had known from the beginning, I would have fought for what I wanted. I went to school for communication, right? So I should have did something like along those lines. And I asked for journalism, I asked for photography, something along those lines, like anything, bro. I would have done something else, but medical is a no-go. Like, I'm not even gonna, like, put my hands in it. So I'm upset that I signed my name on that, but luckily, you know, God is good. I was able to get a new job because it does not happen for a lot of people as far as like my process. You can cross-train really at any moment if you have the requirements, if you're eligible, basically. But the way I cross-train, I should have been kicked out. Luckily, you know, I was able to stay in, and I'm still in, and I'm grateful for that. Also, there are so many benefits that people do not know of. Like, it's one of those things you're gonna find out throughout your Air Force career or whatever like branch you joined, but you're gonna find out throughout your career. But one thing that I love, y'all, and this might be like very minute to some people, but I love this, you get free baggage up to 2 bags. Like, I travel. Well, I'm starting to travel. Let's say that. So I love the whole 2 baggage. I be overpacking. I throw everything in that bag because it's like, why not? You know, as opposed to having to pay for your 2 luggages. So I fly everything now. Like before, I only flew Southwest because the 2 bag policy was like free, and I loved it. But then when I realized like I could get free baggage with any airline, I know y'all don't like Spirit, but I'm taking Spirit. I take Spirit, Frontier, American, Delta, United. I take all of them because it's free baggage. I also like the fact that like you could change your airlines. You could change your window seating, all of that good stuff. Like, you know, again, this might be small to some people, but that's stuff that I found out. And that shouldn't be your reason for joining, but you should know what you're getting. It's like, you know, when you apply for any job, like you want to know the benefits that it comes with. So that's a plus. I definitely would have signed up earlier for that. Like, you know, that's one of my reasons. So I'm going to read this off my phone just because I just found out about this benefit. So basically you're entitled to basically 1 week of adventure time every year. People don't know that. I sent that to my flight members for basic training because I was like, y'all, this is so cool. So basically you can go like pretty much anywhere in the world. And I did not know this. Like, you know, I just found this out yesterday. So I was like, okay, cool. So I'm going to read this to you guys so that way y'all see. So basically it says, everyone in the military is entitled to 1 week of adventure training a year. You can do more if your chain of command authorizes it. And some units make it easy or mandatory for you to do it. The emphasis is for you to organize it for yourself. There are loads of opportunities out there, such as rock climbing in Cyprus, wreck diving in New Zealand, or skiing in Greenland. Like, that's amazing, y'all. When I tell y'all I love to travel, and I've been so big on like just trying to see the world and all of that, taking advantage of this. I'm getting my free trip once a year, and I'm all for the adventure. I'm all for trying new things, but that's just stuff that goes into like your career, your job. Like, you want to know what you're signing up for, or you want to know what the perks of you signing up. Because I get it, serve the country, whoo, like, you know, but let's be very honest. Like, I was in a flight of 50 girls for basic training. When I tell y'all, most of them did not care about serving the country. They joined for benefits. So that's why I'm speaking so much of benefits, because most people are not going to just join. And this is with any job, bro. You're not going to take a job because you just take the job. It comes with something. The second thing I wish I knew, well, not really for me. Well, yeah, for me. If you're joining the military to not go to school or to avoid going to school, you're going to be shit out of luck, y'all. You're going to be very sad because nobody tells you this. First of all, I thought basic training and then you go on with your life, whatever. I didn't know it was basic training and then tech school. And then depending on what your job is, depends on how long you go to your tech school. Some could be 3 weeks, some can be a month, some 3 months, some 6 months, some 2 years. Pilot school, I believe, is like 2 years. Y'all, that is a lot. And then the thing is about school, like Air Force school, I guess, let's say that. And I don't want to speak on the whole military because I don't know much about that. Y'all, I felt like I was back in high school. Like, first of all, my college schedule was dope. So I did morning classes, like 6 a.m., 7 a.m., 8 a.m. classes, anything before 10 a.m. basically. And I had a lot of online classes. So I had my whole day. I had freedom, like, you know, and that's something I value, like my freedom to do whatever I want to do. I went to tech school. Tech school is from 8 a.m. in the morning, really, and you're waking up earlier because you got to go get breakfast, dress up, fix your bed, etc. Like, you got to do a lot. So you're waking up earlier, but you got to be in class by 8 and it ends at 5. That is bro, I was back in high school. I was like, dang, I haven't been back in like 4 or 5 years. Like, I did not sign up for this, you know? So I really wish I knew what it entailed as far as schooling, because that was not fun for me. And again, with my new job, I got to go back to training. Luckily, it's not as long. My last job, I believe, was 6 months, and I didn't finish my school, you know? It was not, I just wasn't a fan of it. I wasn't. And I told you I was medical. That wasn't for me. Like, no. That was like 6 months. I don't think I could have done it. But honestly, I give it to people who are able to finish, because it's not an easy thing. Like, you know, it's not easy, but it definitely proves your strength as far as mentally. Like, you know, it's a lot to take on. But yes, this new school, I believe, is about a month. So that's not bad. Like, I'm willing to do that. I'm willing to to get, you know, just do it. But yeah, some people graduated straight out of high school and joined the Air Force and was like, whoo, like I'm free, I get to travel, all of that stuff. Yeah, no. So you're going to school, like, and that's the thing. If you want to join the Air Force for the sake of benefits, so that way they can pay for your school, makes all the sense. Do it right after high school. But if you're trying to join the military because you don't want to go to school, I don't think that's the smartest option. Again, everyone is different. So if that works for you, that works for you. But I think your motivation, if anything, when it comes to schooling, education, is them paying for it, because school's not cheap. It's not cheap at all. Like, I know my loans are racking up. Y'all, the third thing, this Band-Aid is nasty. But anyways, the third thing I wish I knew was that the reserves and active duty are two separate things, y'all. Two separate things. The way they operate is completely different. Funding is different. Day-to-day is different. And I wish I did more research about it, because I didn't know what I was joining, you know. I didn't know what I was about to be a part of. And it's crazy because I signed the contract for the reserve and I was trying to switch to active duty because, you know, I was just speaking to a lot of people. Anyone who joins the Air Force and wants to go to basic training, your basic training will be in San Antonio. So before I even went to basic training, I was speaking to people every day from my different jobs from school, like that were like prior service members. So they were just like putting me on, you know, telling me, giving me advice, telling me what I should, what I shouldn't do. I was trying to switch to active duty, but honestly, I don't think mentally I would have been able to handle it. Well, maybe I could, maybe I couldn't. I really don't know. But I feel like if I joined active duty, I would have been able to be done, like I would be done quicker, and I would be able to focus on my life, because again, military is not my life. Like, you know, it's a part of my life, but it's not my life. Some people, military is their life. It consumes everything they do, and I'm nothing for that. I don't want anything to consume my life. I definitely want to live. I'm a liberal person. I'm definitely a free person. So I don't, or free-spirited person, as I should say. So I don't want anything to really have that much impact on my life, you know. Nothing for that. Active duty, reserve, so different. You need to definitely know what you want, like what the long-term goals, short-term goals, how you are right now, how much time you have. You need to know all of that before actually signing your name on the paper, because that'll help you in the long run. And my recruiter, again, douchebag, like, you know, I had a semester left. Him saying, oh yeah, you're in school, you should be in the reserves. So I automatically took it. Like, I was like, okay, cool. Like, whatever, you know what's best. You're the recruiter. But no, you go based off of what you want, your own individual, like, goals. Where do you see yourself in the long run? That's what you should do. That should help you when it comes to picking, you know, active duty or reserve. So definitely understand those two. Watch hella videos, y'all. Watch so many videos, read articles, speak to as many people as possible. Before you join, right, bring somebody with you. Bring somebody who's a prior service member or who's already in. Bring them with you to the recruiting office, because them recruiters will try to get one on you. Like, they will try to like run game on you. So you need to bring somebody who's been there, who's seen a lot, who even has their own experience to bring to where it's like, no, you're not gonna try to finesse this person, he or she. You're not about to do that. One thing I wish I knew, because I knew a lot of people that were service members. You know, again, me living in San Antonio, I was able to speak to a lot of people. I should have had someone come with me, but instead I was like, no, Miss Independent, I can do it on my own. No. Another thing is your time in the Air Force, your time in service is dependent on your units, right? So you know how like some people are like, oh no, I don't like the Air Force, or I love it. It really depends on who you're working with, but that's with anything in life. Like, you know, when you have your job, when you go to school, your friends, like, when you go on a trip, your trip is depending on who you're with, right? So it's the same thing for the Air Force. Your experience in the Air Force is dependent on your unit. So my old unit, I'm not going to speak too bad of them. They actually weren't bad. They just were not my cup of tea. And it's one of those things like, there's something for everyone. That just was not my cup of tea. I didn't really care to be there. To me, it gave me negative vibes. Wasn't a fan. No. And I'm still learning how to tame my mouth. So I feel like I would have gotten very irritated with them very soon. Like, you know, so no. But my new unit is lovely, you guys. Like, I felt welcomed as soon as I got in. I didn't feel judged. Like I didn't feel like out of place. I felt like I belonged there. I even brought some of my friends along. We had a picnic and they loved it. My supervisors, definitely friendly. Like, you know, they just made me feel like I belonged there. They helped my process. They check up on me frequently to make sure like, oh, how's life? How are you doing? All of that. They're not hard to work with. And that's the most like, that's the biggest thing for anything. You don't want to work with someone who's difficult. Manager, a superior, someone underneath you. You don't want to work like peers. You don't want to work with anyone who's difficult because they will make your job harder. They'll make your life harder. And I don't have time for that. Look, when I tell y'all, military is part of my life, not my life. So I'm not trying to be stressed because of y'all. Like, you know, absolutely not. So I just want to put that out there, y'all. Don't be discouraged. Definitely understand that sometimes it's the people that you're around. So if you possibly don't like where you're at, and this is maybe for the people who are already in it, if you don't like where you're at, I mean, it's hard. You can't really just switch units, or maybe you can. I don't really even have an answer to that, but there's always ways. That's one thing. Oh, y'all, that's another point. I'm realizing if they tell you no, there's always loopholes. There's always ways to go around something. So a no is never really a no. If you can find a yes, take that yes route. And you are in control of your own career. Don't let anybody tell you no. Don't let anybody tell you that you can't do something or it's not gonna work. Don't let nobody tell you that. It goes back to my recruiter. There's a lot of people exactly like that man. You gotta take control of your own career. If you don't, when I tell you it's gonna go downhill like this, people will definitely try to run a game on you. So you need to know what you're doing. And this brings me to my last point. I don't even know what number we're on because I was just rambling and just talking. Know your AFI. Your AFI is the handbook. It's the Air Force handbook. Know it. And it's like knowing your rights. A lot of people get convicted for something because they don't know their rights. They don't know that they're entitled to certain things. They don't know much about what the law can do for them. It's the same thing with the handbook. Let me tell y'all something. People are mean, they're selfish. That's one thing I'm realizing in this world. They look out for themselves. A lot of people don't care for your well-being. They care for their own well-being. So you need to know the handbook. And it seems stupid. I'm telling you, bro. I'm the type of person like, I don't want to read that handbook. I don't want to read it. And I still don't know it, but it helps. So my last unit, they had the nerve to say, this is not acceptable. This color is not acceptable. First of all, blonde is the natural color for Black people. So that's a whole nother conversation, And my unit now has not said a word. And honestly, they shouldn't because I've screenshotted so many women that are higher ups that have this hair. So it's really, again, dependent on your unit. You need to know your rights. You need to know what you can and can't do. Also, I do take responsibility because in my last unit, y'all, I was messing up. I was acting like a citizen. I wasn't acting like an airman. I was acting like a regular person in the streets. Like, first of all, my nails were too long. They weren't too long. They weren't excessive, but like according to the handbook, like what's allowed, what isn't allowed, they were too long. Bought a brown purse. I was like, oh, this brown purse matches the spots on my uniform. I'm about to look cute. Like, no, you need to know the handbook. And then the second time I came in with a black purse and it had like a gold, like little handle. When I tell you, the lady was like, how many times do I have to tell you what you have is not acceptable? And I was like, I'm tired. You know, I'm tired. Like, it's not like I mean to, but again, it was my ignorance. It was my negligence to not reading the handbook and not knowing not supposed to do. Again, that falls on me. But when you do join, if you do decide to join, study up on the handbook, study up on stuff like that. Because I don't know why I didn't think this through, but like even with my nails, like right now I'm in a phase of wanting to get my nails done. I'm in the phase of wanting to try new hairstyles. Like, you know, I'm older, I can afford to do these things now. And it's like I can't even do it because it's like I'm restricted. Like grooming, like your beards, with your hairstyles, all of that. If that's gonna affect you, honestly, the Air Force is not really for you, you know? Or the military in general. And my mom always says, oh no, I could not join the military because I don't want nobody like telling me how to look. In a way, I'm sorry, if you represent the United States military, they will tell you how to look. I'm sorry. It's just one of those things. So you're gonna have to just be okay with that. And also, I hate having to take my nose ring out, y'all. Like, my nose ring is me. It's a part of my identity. So I hate the fact that I have to take it out. It's like, whatever. But yes, y'all, that is the end of this video. That concludes I believe it was 6 points. I hope it was 6 points. I'll count it after. But yes, that concludes this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys have anything at all that y'all want me to cover, discuss, all of that good stuff, let me know and I will definitely deliver. So yes, you guys be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell down below so that way you guys know whenever I drop a new video. I'm glad I finally got to do this because I've been wanting to talk about the Air Force for a while, you know, but I didn't know how to go about it. So I'm glad I got this out the way. Check. I will catch you guys in the next video. Bye, y'all.